Today I discussed about the major character of this novel, A Farewell to Arm by Ernest Hemingway. Just start. First major character is Henry. Henry Leonard Frederick Henry is an American volunteer ambulance driver for the Italian army during World War I. Not much is known about Henry's life before the war, his motivation for joining the Italian army, or the family he left behind. He embodies many of Hemingway's ideal masculine qualities. He is brave, sexual, and exotic. He loves women and alcohol, using both to escape reality during the war. When he first meets Catherine Brackley, he is only interested in beating her, but during his hospital recovery, he truly falls in love with her. Throughout the novel, Henry struggle with spirituality. He wants to believe in something to give his life greater meaning, but he cannot compare a God that would allow to mindless suffering loss Henry has seen in the war. His love for Catherine becomes his religion, giving him something to sacrifice for. In the end, he learns that life is meaningless and death is indiscriminate. And the second major character is Catherine. Catherine is a British nurse sent to the front during World War One. When she meets Henry, she is grieving the loss of her fiancé, who died in battle in France. Heartbroken, Catherine engages in a complicated game of seduction with Henry because she would rather have an illusion of love, however false, than nothing at all. As the novel progresses, the line between fantasy and reality blurs, and the reader is left questioning whether she loved Henry at all, or if the entire romance was a game. Despite Catherine's complicated emotional state, it is clear that she is brave, dedicated, and faithful in her pursuit or creating the idolized romance. She would say or do anything to become Henry's perfect woman. She is obsessed with appearances and being good. When she became pregnant, she worries that this will complicate her fantasized romance before she has to face reality in the idealized life she has contrast. She dies. Rinaldi. When talented Italian army sergeant Rinaldi is introduced to the reader, he is an effervescent man whose love of alcohol, women, and debauchery breaths passionate excitement into the depressing battlefield setting. When Henry returned to the front after his journey, Ronaldo has become dark and embittered. He drinks excessively now, but it makes him angry rather than charming, and he has contracted syphilis. Ronaldo is a prime example of wartime disillusionment, and the dark effect battle has no soldier soul. Character Maeve, Helen Ferguson, and Catherine were best friends. Both were British nurse, and Catherine's lovers Henry, American ambulance driver. Henry best friends Rinaldi, Italian surgeon, and Henry the confident, the priest, confident of a soldier in battle. This was the main character. Main character was Catherine and Henry. Other major character is Helen Forgan and Rinaldi the friends. And a full character list, now discussed about full character list. First Henry, we already discussed about Henry and Catherine and Rinaldi. And third is Imo. Imo is the ambulance driver killed by friendly fire during the Italian retreat. And Bonello is a full-mounted, dishonorable soldier who volunteered to kill the Sergeant Henry suit when the men filed an army. Count Jerif is a 94 years old mentor with whom Henry plays builders at the hotel. Emilio is the bartender at the hotel in Stresa, who allures Henry to his impending arrest and help him to escape. Gino. Gino is a brave Italian soldier who represents patriotic honor and glory in war. Helen Ferguson, I always discuss about a fellow British nurse, is Catherine's protective best friend. Miss Van Campen. Miss Van Campen is the head nurse at the Millen Hospital who dislikes Henry and has him sent back to the front after he contracts jaundice. And Ettore and Moretti is disguised Italian American soldier and Braggett, whose main goal in his life military accomplice. Mr. Walker is an American nurse who works alongside Catherine at the Millen Hospital. Pacini. Pacini is a disillusioned ambulance driver whom Henry voluntarily falls to save and after a transporter explodes. Piani is a Brunello friends and anarchist who accompanies Henry during the retreat. Ralph Simmons is an opera student who leads Henry Sibylline crossing during his escape. The Major is Henry's commanding officer who admits to becoming disillusioned as the war drags on. The priest is Henry confident during his services with the Italian army and a symbol of living religious high life. The priest, symbol of living religious. Valentini. Dr. Valentine is the brass daring surgeon who agrees to operate immediately on Henry's leg despite the other doctor's history. This was this things are all the characters. We just reminded and note that it will also help for your exam. Thanks for watching.